Jimmy Patsos in studio. Ryan
Big game, got to come out.
That's good. Now, that should get, on a Friday night, Iona, the way you're playing, the way you played at home, got to be 7, maybe. Can you sell it out?
No, I mean, it's because we have the top open.
No, but I mean, 8 is like a sellout.
Yeah, I mean, I think 9. Yeah, 9? I think we can push it up to there.
7?
I'll tell you what, the fans, I want to thank the fans. They've been great. They could have turned on us, and they've been great. They come out more. The St. Peter's game, we don't win without them. We had a great food drive. They broke the record for that at the St. Peter's game. We've had some bad weather too. I wish the Glens Falls game didn't have bad weather, because I like playing up.
The last home game you had was a snowstorm, wasn't it?
Yeah. We play better in precipitation. That's the problem, is we win in precipitation. It doesn't help the crowds. Dargenio's going to kill me. But yeah, I would come out, and Iona's fun to watch, and we've only beaten them once in like 5 times, so I would come out. They're really good to watch, and team's playing hard. Javion's doing a lot of little things. Marquise played all 40 minutes, handled the press. Levon's really been giving it his all, and this guy's turning into he gets a little better and better, knock on wood.
Love Brett Bisping.
Oh, you got to love that kid.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
He's a good guy.
Working on his jumper and he's one of the ones January 1 that said, I don't want to hear about my knees anymore. I got to play.
He's a good spokesperson for your team, too.
He's a role model for the school.
Like, if things aren't going well or whatever has happened, send Brett out.
Absolutely.
Because he just will handle himself in front of the media. He'll say the right things.
He's really amazing, and he should be a poster boy for the league, because he could have gone. They had him on the board at Villanova.
Did they?
Oh, yeah, because the guy was going to graduate and have a year left. They had him high draft pick. Look, this is what's going on in college basketball now. These big schools are watching for the fifth-year kids. It started as a football thing. In other words, Penn State, who Roger's a big fan of, their right guard decides to declare for the draft as a junior. They got a list. Let's take the right guard from Toledo, who's a 4-year senior. You go say, hey, want to come to Happy Valley? That kid is so far. Toledo's looking around. Where'd he go? He's gone. And I would go, and I understand that. Brett could have done that. Illinois, a lot of big schools. Villanova had him on the board. He comes back. He's been leading us.
How much is he hurting? The knee?
Doesn't matter. He told us we're not talking about it anymore.
So
he said we're not talking about it. He said we're not talking about it, and I need to work harder and get more shots up. And
perfect.
Because we were trying to. It's one of the things, with the new generation. You try to rest them and work different things out. And Hammer does a great job, but Hammer's old school. But you have to, and the problem is my 18, 19, 20-year-olds are watching the pros and saying, well, he doesn't go the day before the game, whatever. And I have to sit there and say, oh, I understand what you're thinking.
Can you do me one favor? Can we not teach Eurostep? I hate that move. Hate it.
It's out there.
Can we? I got fourth graders that are doing the Eurostep.
Yeah.
Ryan Harkins, seriously. And let me tell you something. Every time, and I'm going to say this now for every official that does a fourth grade travel basketball game, if there is a kid that does a Eurostep, it's a walk.
It's a travel.
I'm telling you right now, there's not one fourth grader in the capital region that knows how to do a Eurostep that is not a walk. I'm just saying right now.
I love it.
So every time.
I watch Wisconsin. I want to say, by the way, Wisconsin's good. They're good. Wisconsin, watch out for them. They teach the two-stop jump.
I like that.
The jump stop with 2 feet, old school, and then you can pass off it. But you tell that to kids today, and they're like, that's old-fashioned. I tell that to my son, Brady, please, just make the stinking layup. Don't worry about Eurostep. Drive the ball to the rim hard. I don't need Eurosteps. Got it? No Eurosteps. And if you jump stop, you can pass. But
exactly. You got to come to one of our practices.
I will. No, we're going to work on it today. Hey, we that's one thing. Khalil Richards has brought us a little.
He's good.
Well, he can shoot it, and he does a few. And Kadeem Smitten wants to see. They want to pass and play defense. And so, in other words, when you look at the 4 seniors, it's kind of their team. So let's get them the ball. And it took a while, but Khalil and then Santi Shivers kind of is just a junkyard dog, 6'4" guy that can kind of play a lot of positions.
How many guys are you playing right now?
8. But I'm looking for a 9th, and Evan Fisher's played some. He was more in the playing group earlier in the year. He was, and when he rebounds, it's funny. I want him to be Bill Laimbeer, and that's defensive rebound, set great screens, and then he hit his top of the key 3. The problem is he only hears the top of the key 3. Take the threes, and he's a good shooter. However, I think, look, it's funny. The better defense we played, the better we've shot the ball. I try to tell him, look, I'm trying my butt off the better defense you play, the higher your three-point percentages. Look at Villanova. They play 4 guards. Well, if you do that, you have to front the post and work your tail off defensively and pressure the ball. Then your shots go in. And we've kind of bought into that. It just took a little while. You know, there was a lot written about us. There was a lot of things. You know, it's hard. There's a lot of pub out there, and Monmouth and Justin Robinson and NBA, and this guy's got potential, and we're supposed to be the second. It's the double-edged sword. It's the good and bad of the media today, and we get a lot of attention at Siena, and then we played the toughest. Our schedule in the league is by far tougher than everyone else's, like a big gap. Well, that can shake guys' confidence. So I said, just, you know what? Go back to playing defense. Go back to running the plays, and then you'll see what happens. We've been grinding out some wins, but couldn't be prouder of Brett, Levon, Marquise, and Javion because they kind of took the team over, and it was January 1. And we go with our new regime, and we lose 2. Now, I said they were close losses. Take it easy, but let's figure this out. In other words, we did well to go up to Buffalo and play hard. That's where that was our starting point. Let's go back to just playing hard and sharing the ball. And then the next step's winning. Now, we'll see how it goes because we're not sneaking up on anybody now.
So what's it like being the director of ops? Let's go. Ryan Harkins in with Coach Patsos, Villanova guy, spent last year.
My lawyer.
Last year he was on Jay Wright's staff down at Villanova and was part of that national championship run. And now he's with Coach Patsos. All right, so director of ops, and I know a little bit about director of ops because I see director of ops and what they do, which is a lot. Yeah, they do an awful lot, and there's a lot of pressure to make sure you get it right all the time. Otherwise, you get hollered at by the head coach every once in a while.
The assistant, Coach Watson yells at him.
All right, so director of ops under Coach Patsos. Microphone's all yours, Ryan Harkins.
Well, I will get in trouble without saying the best part is Michelle, his wife. She that's definitely one of the better parts. But being in for Jimmy is a lot of fun. You know, you never know what to expect. Every day is a new day. You pick him up and you put on the Grateful Dead radio station, and you get a history lesson about a song or concert.
Uncle John's band.
Yep, that's what I got today. And
then we put on Roger.
Yes, and
it's
then
a potpourri.
And then, you know, we're obviously getting some good eat. Today we're gonna get Gus's for the media. We take care of the media, you know, before practice. Something Jimmy has taught me to take care of the media. You learn little things from him, but it's a lot of fun. It's definitely not boring.
You must be organized, right? I mean, you have to have everything set. And we have like a little show. We have a little show prep here that sometimes we follow, sometimes we don't. But how about the organizational skills that you must have?
Well, you have a manila folder in front of you, and Jimmy is big on the manila folder.
He writes on them, old school.
He has a manila folder for every trip, so that's what I've started to do. I start to, for every trip we do, make a list of where we're going, when we're leaving, what time the bus is going to be there, and I put the Greg Norman shark symbol actually at the bottom, so it's maybe a little copyright infringement I'm on there. But yeah, you got to be organized. You have to have everything ready to go, and always got to be on top of your stuff.
Be ready for Strawberry Fields when I make that announcement.
Yes, we went to Strawberry Fields the other day when we were in Manhattan. We were coming back from practice, and we decided to stop at Strawberry Fields, and there was quite a bit of road closures on Saturday. There was a couple of marches going on, so that definitely led to a little confusion with the bus and some traffic situations. But
we're testing you.
We recovered. We responded with a good attitude.
But we do love basketball. The one thing is this guy knows sport. Like, he's got the Jets, and he's a big Mets fan. He went to the Mets playoff game.
Yeah.
What did he?
We're gonna
you know what it is, Roger? He calls me and says, I can go to the Mets game tonight, the playoff game, but I know we have work. I said, you're fired if you don't go to that game.
There you go.
I'm like, what are you, crazy? You got to go.
That's a good boss right there, Ryan.
In other words, he likes the sports and stuff. So we do the basketball, then we do fun. But he's been great.
But as an ops guy, I mean, here you are now. I mean, I'm assuming you want to be a coach. You want to keep AD. Moving up the ladder. You're a young guy. What is your goal here down the road? What do you want to do?
I mean, I kind of got into this whole basketball world a couple years ago thinking I wanted to coach. And after seeing I was a manager at Marist, actually, and then went to graduate assistant at Villanova. So I've seen different sides of the world here. So I'm just kind of figuring out. Definitely, AD is something that's definitely starting to become more appealing. So we'll see how it goes.
Most guys want to be coaches.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be out on the road doing all that. Not that I don't, but right now in my life I don't. Yeah. So maybe we'll see. You know.
Were you a good athlete? Did you play?
I was actually a kicker in high school. That was my glory. I was the junior and senior year. I was a kicker for our high school football team, so it worked out. Lacrosse, basketball, football, and soccer. Those were my sports.
So wait, you're a Jets fan. So let's put you in charge of the Jets now.
Which is his real dream is to be a GM. Let's go. I want to hear. Because he wanted Cutler, and I said you should take Romo. He wanted Jay Cutler.
Well, I just read a column in the New York Post, and the column was the Jets had a chance to get Dan Quinn and couldn't get to him because he was the defensive coordinator of Seattle, had to wait until the playoffs were done. Woody Johnson was like, you know what? We really like him. We want him, but we're not waiting. And then they went to Todd Bowles. Yep. So if they would have hung in there a little bit longer, it would have been Dan Quinn as your coach, and he has the Falcons in the Super Bowl.
They also have Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, though. I'm not really sure.
They're pretty good.
Right, Ryan Fitzpatrick. No offense to those guys.
So who's the quarterback for the Jets next season? Game 1, who's under center for the Jets? If you're running the team.
I would like Mitch, the North Carolina quarterback.
Okay.
He just seems a little, I haven't really, Deshaun and I watched play, obviously, the national championship game. He worries me like a little Vince Young. I don't know. That's the only thing about him. But I would like Mitch, or if not, I can go with Ryan Fitzpatrick if Leonard Fournette's my running.
So not Bryce Petty, not Christian Hackenberg, nothing.
Christian Hackenberg, I don't love that. I didn't really understand that second-round draft pick. I wasn't sure about that one.
Wow.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick again?
We saw if Hackenberg couldn't even play in Week 17, what was wrong? What was the problem there? If he couldn't break the starting lineup then, why is he going to break it next season?
That's a lot of money.
Guy right there you're talking about.
I know, but here's the thing: if Fitzpatrick just takes $8 million and comes into camp ready to go and says thank you and has an attitude of gratitude, he's not bad. He's better when he plays as an underdog. That was not so good last year but you got Todd Bowles back, who seems like a good guy.
All right, what are the keys, Coach? Friday night
transition defense.
How good is Ionis?
Very good. Ionis.
As good as they were last year?
No, A.J. English was one of my.
Right. Yeah.
To me, A.J. English had as good a 4-year career as anybody in the MAC, and I've been around 13 years. A 4-year, top to bottom, could get buckets. He'd play defense. He went to the summer league with the Warriors, but they're good. Cassell's good. Severe's good. Their center's really good. I'm more worried about what Siena does, though. We have to get back and play transition defense. They're going to shoot a ton of threes, and with that comes long rebounds. Problem when they shoot threes is, they've gone in against us. But we beat them last year, and then the last game was, they just beat us in the playoffs. We have to have our heads on straight and know that it's going to be 40 minutes of playing defense, but you got to get back, and then you got to run your offense and go inside and score on them. We're just not a great three-point shooting team, so we have to be effective shooting twos, play good defense. You can't give them those kick-out threes on those long. When you shoot a lot of threes, those are long rebounds. Like tonight, I think it's going to be, Albany's sort of inside patient game versus their shooting threes, and they run this little play that we stole Vermont's play. But it's hard because threes count more than twos. I'm not joking. So you have to stop those and then be more efficient. But you got to get back in defense. You got to put your hand up. And we have a long way to go. We're at the halfway mark exactly in our season, and I want to thank the fans, but the kids are working hard. School started. We're a little back more in our rotation now, and I'm glad I brought Ryan back. See, Ryan, I told you the studio is back here. He didn't believe me.
Hey, you're welcome anytime, man.
He said Jay Wright goes in the studio a lot, too.
I like Jimmy's always like in studio. It's better when you're here.
I like it.
It's better.
I miss you guys. Good energy. Roger always makes me happy.
All good. Good luck against Iowa.
Next week, I'll bring food. Hey, you guys are doing great. See you. It's going to be exciting.
Thank you, Coach.
27-21 Falcons.
There we go. Mark that down, closer. Mark it down.
Dropping the mic.